Vince Ruddy here. Welcome back to the Vince Talk, where I rant and yap and do all this stuff. But yeah, this is gonna be a short one. I don't really have a lot to talk about. There wasn't stuff that was, you know, planned equally. But I'm just here to have fun. Just chilling. But also just getting these topics out the way because I think the main thing that I wanted to talk about was the Pope. Rip, Rippity Doodah. I don't understand. Like, here's the thing. As a Christian, yeah, we don't really like the Pope, to be honest. You ask any authentic Christian, and I want to make sure that, I want to reference this real quick. Reference this. I don't even know how to say it. Okay, I'm trying. Here I am grabbing words here and there. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that Catholic is different from an authentic Christian. I am an authentic Christian. At least I call it authentic. That's not what it's called. I think it's just called Christian. I think it doesn't necessarily have labels. At first, I was taught it was like angelical or evangelical or something. I would go by, at least for me, spiritual in a sense, because of course I believe in that stuff, the whole astral planes, and that stuff is real. But when it comes down to, you know, religion based, I don't even know if I call mine a religion in a sense. It is a religion at the end of the day. When people label certain things here and there, yeah, sure, call it a religion. But I'm not in that circle where it's Catholic, where I'm like, uplifting myself to the Pope. No, that's idolism. That's kind of like, I think there's some parts within the Catholic culture that is somewhat against, the authentic or real way of Christianity or the way that God intended. But I'm not a professional when it comes to this. I just know that what I believe in is the only thing that everyone else should believe in, and pretty much the truth and nothing but the truth. But when it comes to Catholic, I mean, I just don't really care. It's not the real way. It's not, at least for me, okay, in my opinion. But also, it's kind of true. There's many Christians and pastors that bash like Catholicism in a sense, and of course they bash the Pope. I know when they were bashing the Pope, it was a bit too soon, but they were they were just on him. When it comes to that part, at least for me, the way I believe in my sense of Christianity, it's much more like raw, authentic, like tells you the truth, like unapologetic Christianity, the way that God intended, the way it should be intended. It's not meant to make you feel comfortable or anything like that. There are certain things that are, it's basically twining you into darkness. And what you have to do, you have to cut those strings out from your life. At least, that's the way I see it. There's many aspects of that, but of course, we're not here to talk about me or anything. But yeah, the Pope died, and yeah, I just want to, for those who are like, people, when they think about me, it's like, oh man, I wonder what Vince thinks about, the Pope, as a Christian or something. Oh, aren't you sad, Vince? And I'm like, no, no, I'm not. I'm tired of people putting me in the same circle as the people that worship, Mother Mary, when that's necessarily not the authentic way of becoming a Christian, okay, according to the Bible. But, a lot of people don't know me. A lot of people don't really see that. But I'm making this video just to make them recognize, like, the truth and nothing but the truth. And there's certain aspects that is so different from, Catholicism, from, Islam and stuff like that. It's very different. But yeah, the Pope, I mean, he's 88. Like, of course. And pretty much, like, yeah, sad for many other Catholicism, but for me, it's like, well, I mean, the thing is that there is this conversation of like, where did he go? And I don't want to get there. Okay, I feel like that's a little too mean. I feel like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. But if you know, you know. Anyways, getting out of that one and going into gaming. Like I said, this is a short VinzTalk of some sorts. I didn't really put any much updates. I'm still looking for apartments here and there. I just want to get out of my parents' place. It's like been a struggle. I don't know. I necessarily did not have a good week, to be honest. Can't tell you why or what, but man, there are certain stages in my life where I you know, thank goodness that I don't take YouTube seriously. And basically, I have not taken YouTube seriously at all. I just, especially with the whole Let's Reads and stuff like that, I'm not coming back to that. Like there is zero chance. The thing is that when I get a new place, I feel like all of that stuff that I said that I'm not gonna do is gonna be reunited because I'm gonna have my own space. I'm gonna be comfortable of talking about my opinions and here and there. It's gonna be well timed and all of that. And the thing is that I necessarily haven't had that for the longest time because I mean, here I am just yapping. But when I do get my own place, there's so many other stuff that I want to do that I still plan on doing, but I just never got a chance to because, well, when you live with your parents, it kind of ruins the motivation. It ruins the timing of all of this. I just been more focused of working and getting my money up and also just I feel like that's the reason why that, because I couldn't never take a break from YouTube. YouTube has been a platform where I do whatever I want, at least of now, okay? But then again, I never was assigned to upload stuff like around 12 o'clock or whatever, or a certain time. I just basically, as of right now, I be like uploading videos whenever I want to upload. It's not necessarily the weekend. I put it in the weekend because I usually am home alone, like during this certain day, which is close to end of the weekend. But yeah, I did. This is since it's the close to the weekend and no one's home. Like I have to make something, so I try to fill in those timelines of just like, okay, what should I talk about? What should I do? What should I make? What should I make for content so I don't lose my subscribers and stuff like that? So yeah, quitting YouTube, I don't even understand. There's some people that are just like, they give up YouTube 100% and they have the house to themselves. And I always wonder, like, what goes into their mind? Do they have a certain hate from other people that watch their videos? I can never know. There's so much mystery when it comes to I guess what I think about when it comes down to YouTube or doing videos or stuff like that, or what you guys want. I don't know what you guys want. I know you want the webtoon stuff again, but I'm not coming back to that. I might be coming back in a sense of doing like slash reviews or thoughts because I feel like that's the only thing I'm ever good at making right now. Is my thoughts, not reviews, my thoughts. But yeah. Moving on, let's talk about some gaming right here. Before we get into the gaming stuff, I gotta talk. Well, actually, this is gaming related. Skate 4. I call it Skate 4. I don't care what Buddy or Cuz says. You ever made Skate? I'm gonna call it Skate 4. They're gonna say like, "Oh, it's no Skate." Shut up. I'm calling it Skate 4. Okay. And Skate 4 apparently they say it's DOA. Dead on Arrival? Who says that? I saw the kind of funny, like, live, like I usually watch every freaking day. And there was comments saying that it's going to be Dead on Arrival. Also, I heard that it's not free? What's that about? Also, it's online? Man, I miss a lot of things about Skate. And this kind of just, to be honest, pisses me off. Like, you're telling me, like, all this stuff. And also, like, another thing, like, they didn't mention the podcast. There's literally their own audience that listen to Kind of Funny and also play Skate. They always keep talking about the mission, the daily missioners, or something, the players, the multiplayers or something. What about the people that freaking want to play it offline? How about not dealing with all this online BS and just play it by itself? Just freaking play it. Like, it doesn't make sense. The podcasters, man. Like, why are things that are just so simple are just so freaking hard? The physical games, the the freaking putting the cartridge in the freaking, like, in the case, I'm talking about Switch. Or basically, what about this? Like, what about like not online? Does it have to be online to play like Skate? That doesn't make sense. Like, my gosh, this is bad. Hopefully that, whatever I'm hoping for is the best. I wish the best for EA/Skate/Black Box making Skate, the Skate community, or in terms of the Skate game community, not the skateboard community. I mean, those two, because they're losing money at this point. But Skate 4, I'm hoping that things go well. Okay, because come on, a lot of people are going to be playing it. It's going to be my choice of a podcast game or something. Okay, like there's ways to freaking play, and people are like, oh, there's so many. Yes, there is so many games out there, but you got to understand, come on, you always will have room for a skateboard game. A skateboard game just never fails. There is a reason why there's so many of them. That's it. That's all I need to say. Oblivion is a thing. I never played Oblivion. I love Elder Scrolls. I played Skyrim a lot when it first came out, and there are so many of these other games. Morrowind was one of them. Kane, I think. I mean, shoot, I even thought about like the iPhone Elder Scrolls game that came out, like, it was like years ago at this point, but it was on mobile, and to this day I thought about it, man. I thought about really getting back to that game because I love the upgrading system in that, even though it's not like it's a mobile game, and I'm not a big fan of mobile games, to be honest. But I thought of it. I like literally thought of it. I'm like, I actually want to come back. And also Oblivion just came out, or at least Oblivion remastered, remake, or whatever you may call it. It's a thing now. It's a big thing. And because of how good of a game it is, and I heard about it. I mean, I've seen the memes here and there, and it kind of makes sense. So, but honestly, I don't know. I'm really thinking of playing the original Oblivion. I just wanted the original one the way it's meant to be. But and also due to the fact that my PC is not powerful enough to play the remake one, the remastered or whatever. So that's something that I have in mind. But man, a lot of people are talking about Oblivion. People were talking about RuneScape too. I still want to get down on that game, but here's the thing. I've downloaded a new game. Of course, I've been downloading a bunch of new games. And the newest one that I have downloaded was Dungeons of Hinterberg, which is a game that I've been anticipating to play for the longest time. I mean, there were so many other games that I need to finish, but I immediately was like, man, I'm okay. Let me go check out this game right now because I've been itching to check it out. And let me tell you, it's so much fun. I love Dungeons of Hinterberg. Simple, runs on my computer perfectly, just the way it should. Very, my PC is quiet when I play it, so that's a good thing, thank God. And I don't have a much of a powerful PC. There are so many other games that I tried to download and play, and yeah, for my PC it didn't work, and it's kind of heartbreaking, and I'm absolutely sick of it. I'm gonna try to get a new PC. I don't know how. I've been thinking about it. There has to be plans made, so all of that is in the air right now. But I'm trying to save my money. Right now, it's expensive out here. Anyway, speaking of expensive, oh yeah, by the way, I tried to play No Lose, what is it called? Oh yeah, Lose Lagoon. Did not work on my PC. I don't know what it is. I don't know why it's glitchy. I don't know why. Even in the lowest settings that I tried to play it, I tried to play the demo. It didn't work. Also, Dinkum is trending for some reason, and that's a big deal. But I already played that. I probably got to recheck what Dinkum is about. But anyways, let's move on to Switch 2 because there's a lot of talk about Switch 2. Because why we're like, what? Man, I can't speak. What else? Of course there's news about Switch 2. Shoot, in the Nintendo like channel system, like that's all they ever talk about. It's the Switch 2. And sometimes I'm like, man, what else is new, right? Of course it's going to be expensive. And of course they're going to run out. That's the news. Switch 2 apparently is like, there's not enough Switch 2s for everybody. Makes sense. I mean, shoot. For a system like that, expensive. I'm surprised that they actually did get orders. I was hoping that we could, boycott and just like, hey, I say no, Switch. No to this. And hopefully they would make another direct or announcement of making it cheaper, even though that would probably make it worse because that will be the closest that I might think of getting one. And there's people that have obviously these are people that have big wallets and look at them with their oh, look, I got an order for the Switch 2 pre-order. Man, you don't know if you're even going to get it or if you're going to pay another because of the tariffs thing, okay? Tariffs has been a pain. I don't know what's up with the, going on with prices here and there, but the tariffs thing, there's this like new set, especially in the emulation space, where like games that are like that are like these handhelds or something like that, or even computers, basically anything tech. Well, basically everything. To be honest, everything that we ever have is going to change. It all has to come from America because these tariffs are basically ruining his customer base. I think the some of them, like the packages that people are trying to get from other countries are slowly getting lost from other places and sometimes going back to the country they came from or something. Like they would go around, like they're in the city that it's supposed to be delivered to them, and just out of nowhere they are not there anymore. And I'm like, oh, that's not good. And I don't know, I can't tell you where I heard it from, but I just heard it from somewhere. That's all I can tell you. Okay. But for this, what's gonna happen with the Switch 2, with some of these other handhelds and other video game essentials? People say that nowadays hobbies are beginning to be expensive, which is true. You look at the toy market, you look at the board game market. That I feel, man, my heart goes out to the people in the board game community or in the tabletop community. That has to suck. The trading card community, that has to suck as well. And that's, man, I gotta really check that, because with the comic book community and in the gaming community as well, which I'm part of, and the place where I kind of spent the less amount of money on, because I'm well equipped within the indie gaming space, and sometimes you got to know your stuff so you can get your stuff, or basically work hard and have double jobs to get there, like what I'm trying to do. But yeah, things are getting expensive, and it's a sad thing for hobbies. And there was a video about it, but I don't know where it is or what it's called or something. But it is a discussion surrounding how you have to be rich to have hobbies again. It's like how you gotta have money for food, or for and thing is that from where I'm a solutions guy. I look at everything else. I'm like, okay, what about cheap housing? That's what I'm looking at, okay? Because I want to get my own apartment, and actually, there's a lot of options here and there for low income housing. What about like getting your own car or something? Well, pretty much we gotta look at bikes and stuff. You kind of have to look at stuff here and there, and basically anything that can benefit you, of knowing that you'll be a okay. But then again, like everything is just unpredictable at this point, because we don't freaking know. We don't know what's gonna happen. But me as a solutions person, if I'm not with my parents, of course, because they make different decisions than I am. But then again, whatever. I'm always gonna be mama's baby. But for me and the solutions that I have, at least by myself, it is gonna be determined whether I can actually do a lot of research and stuff like that to basically survive. Man, you think this was going to be the year where I'm going to be doing a lot of things? No, a lot of things. It takes money for a lot of things, obviously. And that's life, everyone. That's how life is. I don't know. It's always been like a grumpy, saddened show whenever I freaking record. Press record, boom, sadness comes out. Angry Vince comes out. I'm sick of it, but at the same time, you kind of wonder why, because this is basically my perspective of just a usual person in America, of what they're going through, especially for someone like a poor boy like me with a poor boy PC. Hey, there's ways, but we don't need to talk about it. Anyways, let's get into animation news. I got a lot of stuff here. Let's get the short stuff out the way. Gaslight District. I was planning to talk about that. I don't know. I mean, I tried to watch it. It was so grotesque and stuff. I get the style that they're going for, and also it was somewhat like a religious, sort of tie into it, and I don't know what that's about. Anyways, Gaslight District, it's doing numbers, so I'm looking forward to ever finishing it. That's for sure, or ever doing a review. Ooh, surprise! Judas Iscariot. This is a biblical furry short animation that I saw. It's pretty cool. I'm like, no way. They're going for the furry community. Man, biblical content is all over the place, and it's good to see. Next up, McDonald's for some reason made an anime. It's called Wcdonalds. I don't know what that one's about, but Wcdonalds is a thing. It's a thing, all right. Wcdonalds. It's like three magical girls and eating McDonald's, and it's like, what's happening here? What is happening here? I don't know. Also, there's this other news thing that I didn't put down, but I had to talk about it. Do you know the show called How to Train Your how to what's it called again? How to Train Your Dragon? Let me see. How to Train Your Dragon. Yes, that's what it's called. Okay. So there's a live action thing coming out, and I saw the characters. And let me tell you, listen, there's gonna be a lot of people talking about this, I guarantee you, but I saw the live action characters, and I'm not a big fan of How to Train Your Dragon. Okay, I seen clips here and there, especially when it first came out. I know the familiar with the characters and stuff like that, but when I first saw the live action characters, I can never. Here's the thing: what's the point of ever spending money, huh? I guess that's what they're doing nowadays in Disney or Pixar. Like you just happen to spend it on ugly characters and stuff like that. I'm sorry. Here's the thing. I'm based in a religion that is basically telling the truth and nothing but the truth. And let me tell you, this is the truth. This sucks. Whatever this is that I'm seeing with the live action characters for How to Train Your Dragon, first off, it's not authentic, and also it's just hideous. Sucks. That's my truth, okay? Listen, I'm not doing this for anyone else. Okay? Doing this for God. And everybody needs to hear the truth at some point. And I know they're not gonna watch this video, and either this video's gonna get struck because of community guidelines, because apparently I'm not nice. Like, do I have to be nice? I'm sorry. That I'm not nice. That I'm not a nice bat right now. I'm an angry bat. Ah! But anyways, yeah. How to Train Your Dragon live action? What is that? What is that? That is not How to Train Your Dragon. The characters itself. Here's the thing. Apparently they ran out of blondes. I don't know about the character. Like, oh my gosh. I wish I can just show you. Okay? Especially with some of the female characters. What is that? And some of the characters, like, I guess, for a story that is based in some European country, they probably hate Europeans. I guess that's our fault because Hollywood just hates white folks or something. That whole narrative is slowly becoming true. And I don't want to believe that, but it's slowly coming true. I just am tired of people effing with other people's characters. Let them be what they have to be. Okay? When The Mermaid came out, okay? My Little Mermaid, or whatever it's called, I don't freaking know. I forget this point, okay? Because when was the last time I ever watched that show? Never was a fan of it to begin with, but like, you gotta change the character on that. You also gotta do the same with, like, well, why can't you just have your own thing? Like Miles Morales, why can't you have your own thing? I do not like and support freaking race swap. That stuff is just terrible. It's terrible. Okay? Anyways, whatever. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you subscribe, like, comment, jazz. That was my rant that I had to get out before I close it down. I don't know, guys. Anyways, one love and peace. God bless.